Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sax Solution Series. We're just going to wait a few minutes to allow a few other people to log in, and then we'll be starting the presentation shortly. Thank you for joining us. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sax Technology Advisors Solution Series. Today, we'll be speaking about the cloud. My name is Matthew Hahn, CTO for Sax LLP, as well as Sax Technology Advisors. Let's dive in. In a world driven by technology and relying on data, Sax Technology Advisors is the guardian of your IT. As a managed service provider, we leverage expertise and sophisticated solutions to shield businesses from threats while maximizing efficiencies. It is the mission of Sax Technology Advisors to partner with clients in their overall technological success. Through our immediate and ongoing technology advisory, we provide a technology vision, technology leadership, and proactive IT health and security for your company now and for the future. As a subsidiary of accounting, tax, and business advisory firm Sax LLP, Sax Technology Advisors operates under the same standards of service, core values, and vision for propelling clients forward by advising them in the key areas critical to their success. Technology is an important business component to any company at any size, and Sax Technology Advisors works to address every technology need with the same quality service you have come to know and depend on. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing can be very vague, and it also could be very detailed. The purpose of today's meeting is to dive in a little bit to share some of the differences of what the cloud is, the solutions that it can offer, and how we may be able to apply some of the abilities of the cloud to your business. So cloud computing is everything we are already using in our business environment. Servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, except it happens all over the internet, which is the cloud. The cloud offers businesses of any size with scalability, security, high availability, and multi-user access. With data stored in the cloud, users can access company data and applications from any internet-connected computer or mobile device. When app data is stored in the cloud, this provides efficiencies and cost savings, and no data is lost if a user's computer or device fails, as the data is resident in the cloud. Having scalability in the cloud means when your business may experience an additional growth in staff, maybe you have transient users that come in to an organization to work for a short period of time. Leveraging the cloud allows you to turn up or turn down the resources needed for those particular situations. Because without the cloud, you would be purchasing additional equipment to facilitate those users. In our new technology age, cloud computing helps us to store, backup, and recover data, host websites and blogs, stream audio and video content, deliver software on demand, analyze data for patterns and predictions. These are just some of the ways that the cloud is helping businesses grow. But let's look at some statistics. Did you know cloud computing spending is projected to increase from 67 billion to 162 billion in 2020? This is just showing that more and more businesses are taking advantage of what the cloud has to offer. And more importantly, more and more technology providers are leveraging the cloud as their vehicle of delivery, whereas traditional software solutions were known to be on-prem. And still many software providers haven't made that jump yet, but I think you'll see as time goes on, more and more people will be providing this type of medium. In 2017, 74% of CFOs said cloud computing will have the most measurable impact on their businesses. And this makes sense. This comes into play operating your investments in technology, change from a CapEx model to an OpEx model. You're able to leverage a lot of the different resources without huge upfront costs. In fact, the barrier of entry is very low when it comes to the cloud. You're paying for what you need and what you don't need, and not paying for what you don't need, which is fantastic. That's why the scalability part really comes into play. A recent report showed that cost savings is the top motivating factor for moving to the cloud. Resource scalability and time to market, agility, both rank next. So when it says that moving to the cloud is a cost savings, it really is. In many ways, when you move to the cloud, you're eliminating much of the on-premise infrastructure that's required to be managed, protected, maintained in order for you to leverage the software that you need in your day-to-day business. When you use the cloud, a lot of those resources that an organization needs to maintain go away, thus the cost savings. It is predicted that the US will be leading the country in cloud computing, spending accounting for 97 billion, more than 60% of global spending. So, I think you're going to see many companies making this commitment into the cloud and investing. It's just the trend and the way that all technology is moving. Why are organizations turning to the cloud computing for services? Let's take a look at some of these reasons right here. Cost. Eliminates capital expense by buying hardware and software and setting up and running on-site data centers. This is where the cloud can help. Reliability. Makes data backup, disaster recovery, business continuity easier and less expensive because data can be mirrored at multiple redundant sites in the cloud's provider's network. Very important, if you're not leveraging the cloud to protect the data in which you're backing up in your organizations, you really should look to do this. It's a huge element in protecting your data. Scalability. More and more computing power, storage, bandwidth. That's what's required, and from the right geographic location. Essentially, going to the cloud is certainly an option. However, you want to make sure that the data centers and the resources that you need to access based on where you are in the country work for your needs. For example, some businesses are located in an area where they don't have great internet access, or their internet access isn't as fast as other areas. They may not be the right candidate for the cloud. The experience might be challenging, to say the least. And then you have inefficiencies and end user adoption that could certainly cause work to be hindered. Productivity. Remove the need for hardware setup, software patching, and other time-consuming IT management tasks. And some of the different models of the cloud, like software as a service, which we'll be touching on in a moment, you're able as an end user just to take advantage of the software and the feature functionality that is embedded in it. No longer do you have to play IT with patching this or patching that. This is where the software provider comes into play, providing additional value in the investment of using the cloud. You have speed. Provided self-service and on-demand, giving a business flexibility and pressure off capacity planning. Essentially, the cloud allows you to scale, dial up or dial down speed. If you need more bandwidth, you can throw more money at it and you'll get more bandwidth. That's one of the beauties about the cloud. It is completely scalable. And let's talk about performance. Running on a worldwide network of secure data centers, which are regularly upgraded to the latest generation of fast and efficient computing hardware. Any cloud provider should have a life cycle for their hardware and software. And this is something that I would encourage all of you, if you're going to look to use the cloud, find out about how they maintain their systems. Just because it's in the cloud doesn't mean it's being maintained right. And you may be surprised. Some cloud providers may not be providing the state-of-the-art equipment, and you may actually have faster infrastructure within your own environment. So this is why due diligence is very, very important when selecting a cloud provider. But not all clouds are the same. There are 3 different ways to deploy cloud computing resources based on the wants and needs of your businesses. The 3 most common cloud setups are public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. So in public cloud, they're owned and operated by a third-party cloud service provider, and they deliver computing resources like servers, storage over the internet. With a public cloud, all hardware, software, and other supporting infrastructure is owned and managed by the cloud provider. You access these services and manage each other. Okay, public cloud are things like Azure, AWS, Rackspace, providers that are multi-tenant. Multi-tenant is a term that you should be familiar with, because in a public cloud, your environment is sharing the same hardware resources as other companies. If that doesn't work for you, you may want to look into having a private cloud. And a private cloud refers to cloud computing resources used exclusively by a single business or organization and can be physically located in a company's on-site or off-site data center. Okay, so a data center, essentially all the cloud is a data center. And the vehicle in which you access the data center is the internet. So if you have a Citrix environment in your office today, or a remote desktop environment, and you're remotely logging in and accessing your line of business applications, you are essentially accessing a cloud, right? You're accessing your resources over the internet. Some companies also pay third-party service providers to host their private cloud and maintain their services and infrastructure on a private network. So you do have options. And then when you look at a hybrid clouds combine public and private clouds together. Technology that allows data and applications to be shared between them. By allowing data and applications to move between private and public clouds, a hybrid cloud gives businesses greater flexibility and more deployment options. What solutions does the cloud provide? And this is great. I really want to lay out here the different types of options that the cloud provides and the most frequently used. So as you see here, there are 4 main types of cloud services that can essentially be stacked on top of each other to provide enhanced capabilities, depending on the needs of your company and industry. Understanding what these different cloud solutions are and how they are different make it easier to accomplish your business goals. So we have platforms like software as a service, SaaS. I'm sure you're familiar with this. You may be using it in some of your accounting software or other types of software that we'll touch on. Infrastructure as a service. Maybe your organization needs to buy new hardware and you don't necessarily want to make that large capital investment. Well, renting your infrastructure from an organization is a much more cost-effective way to go, and it's much faster to set up. Typically, click and provision. Identity as a service. This is becoming more and more common as we're seeing threats of cyber security come into play. Having a third party help manage identity as a service certainly enhances the security posture of an organization. And platform as a service. Platform as a service is more designed for developers who are able to run their code in an environment that is isolated from production and allows them to have the type of scalability they need to test their environment. So software as a service. This is where cloud providers host and manage software applications. They maintain it, they perform the patching and upgrades, and essentially you're just using the software as an end user. eliminating much of the back-end management. Now, there will be customizations to any software that an end user will be involved with. However, the management and functionality and the fact that it's up and running is totally managed by a cloud provider. Some common SaaS examples are things like Office 365, Gmail, Yahoo, CRM applications like Salesforce, enterprise resource planning, software like NetSuite or Sage or Microsoft products in the cloud. Business tools, again, you have Microsoft Office, you have BI, you have lots and lots of different business tools that are available in SaaS. Document management solutions, things like Go File Room, right? And then just basic file storage, things like Dropbox and Box and other types of software providers that allow cloud resources to be available by the masses. And then you have things like calendar, right? So you may see that when you want to book an appointment with someone, they'll say, oh, click on my link and see when I'm free on my calendar. These are common examples of SaaS-based applications. What are some of the advantages? Well, cost effective. You know, things like ERP and CRMs can be made more affordable for organizations that lack the resources to deploy them in on-prem. Many cases when companies go and purchase new software, they get hit with the surprise factor that they actually need more robust hardware to buy this new state-of-the-art software that they'd like. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. Increased savings. Service automatically scales up or down according to the level of usage. Efficiencies in the workforce. Users can access applications and data from anywhere. No longer the days of I have to go into the office or our VPN isn't working to the office. SaaS applications are designed to be accessible from anywhere in the world with the right device. And no need to purchase, install, or maintain any hardware, middleware, or the software to manage these environments. Basically, it's a subscription model, and the software providers offer various licensing approaches, whether it be single licensing, bulk licensing, or concurrent licensing. So infrastructure as a service is even a little bit different. Essentially, you're renting out IT infrastructure, things like virtual machines, servers, storage, maybe networks, operating systems that run on those servers. This is all pay as you go, much like the software as a service and platform as a service. Some of the common functions of infrastructure as a service are quick and easy test and development environments, website hosting, storage and backup recovery, infrastructure to support web apps, high performance computing, big data analysis. These are some of the areas of the advantages of infrastructure as a service. It also eliminates capital expenses and reduces ongoing costs by way of not having to manage hardware. Improves business continuity and disaster recovery by allowing the data to be stored in another location that has a more robust data protection strategy. Respond quicker to shifting business conditions. With the ability to scale up or scale down, the infrastructure as a service platform allows businesses to grow and scale down as needed. Increased stability, reliability, and supportability. These organizations that build out these infrastructures for rental, for lack of better words, have to make sure that they're delivering the best possible services available. And to do that, in the cloud, it all comes down to stability, reliability, supportability, as well as security, which is what we're here on, better security. These organizations realize that they're going to get hit from the outside. People are going to try to do things to access their infrastructure, their data, their clients. So they need to stay on top and far surpass anything that most companies can offer on-prem. Get new apps to users faster. With the ability to create in an environment at your leisure, you're able to meet various milestones in order to produce the type of delivery protocols you'd like. Identity as a service is maybe not as familiar to some of you. However, it is an important service and growing from more and more medium-sized to larger scale organizations. So identity as a service has moved to the cloud. It supplies cloud-based authentication or identity management to ensure users are who they say they are, and to give them the right kinds of access to software applications, files, and other resources at the right times. So common identification as a service applications would be multi-factor authentication. You know, maybe things like Duo or Okta. You have single sign-on. Again, very common with those types of providers as well. Directory for users with right security permissions. Onboarding new staff can certainly be tedious. When you're able to leverage identity as a service, you're able to build processes that help streamline these initiatives. Access security, central point of security management, you're able to better manage the workforce through a single interface. Provisioning. Provisioning is a term used when you're bringing on new staff, and this is where identity as a service certainly helps bolster any current policies you have within the organization, as well as keeping the processes honest and putting like checks and balances against the way that onboarding is occurring. Some of the other advantages: sophisticated technology businesses can leverage at a fraction of the cost of building internally. Great savings with one subscription fee. Improved cybersecurity, seamless and secure login from anywhere, and time efficiencies. Another area is platform as a service. Platform as a service is meant for programmers and developers. It refers to cloud computing services that supply an on-demand environment for developing, testing, delivering, and managing software applications. You know, the way it works is when software developers create applications, they never really know what's going to happen. They may be performing what's called regression testing, whereas they may come up with a fix for a piece of software. However, that one fix may cause problems in other areas. So platform as a service provide developers with the environment they need in order to modify, develop, and enhance code for applications for better delivery to the clients. So development framework that developers can build upon is a common use for a platform as a service, allowing organizations to analyze and mine their data, enhance applications such as workflow, directory security, and scheduling. And other advantages are, additional services like middleware, development tools, and other business tools that some of these platform as a service providers offer. Every platform service provider has a different set of tools that they're going to provide. So much like looking for the right SaaS provider, finding the right platform as a service provider is equally as important. You need to make sure that the time and sweat equity your developers are putting in don't limit them based on the functionality of the platform. Pre-coded application components built into the platform, new capabilities without needing to add staff, pay-as-you-go models, so the use of sophisticated tools is much more affordable. Includes all capabilities needed to support the web application lifecycle, building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating within the same integrated environment. Really keeps things easy when it's all in one place. So what keeps you up at night? As a business owner, I ask myself that question. We say, what would happen to our data on site if a disaster hit? Are you leveraging the cloud to back up that data? Can my business scale the way I need it to scale? Are we spending too much money on IT and other areas where efficiencies can be had maybe with the cloud? What is our competition doing that we aren't? Things like web presence, SEO, ability to interact with your clients. This is an incredibly important way to leverage the cloud. Be a source of knowledge by publishing blogs and informationals. Are we leveraging or at least aware of all the technological options and capabilities? If you're not working with a real partner, a technology partner, who's saying to you on a quarterly, annually, biannual basis, hey, these are the new options that are out today. I noticed that you folks are doing this. there may be benefits in looking at some of these other options through the cloud. That's really, really where it comes into play. So how can Sax Technology Advisors help? We can help implement hybrid cloud solutions, things like on-site and off-site computing. We help companies find the right cloud solution service for their unique application needs, right? It's not cookie cutter and one size does not fit all. There may be a lot of solutions that companies can work with. However, the way that a business operates should also complement the way the software works, and that's really important. Partner with businesses to help build the solutions that allow them to focus on their growth and not the grunt work of managing their IT. This kind of speaks for itself. We want to help make sure that our clients focus on building their business and they're not wearing the IT hat, and we take that off their plate. So, are you ready to get into the cloud? Have you been researching it and just not sure what direction to go with? I would ask you to reach out to Sax Technology Advisors to help identify the best way to reach your goal. I'm going to open the floor up to any questions. If you have any questions, if you could please type them into the field box, I'm more than happy to address them, hopefully provide you with a meaningful answer. Just give it a minute or two, see if anybody types anything. No questions are either really good because you understood everything I said, or maybe there aren't any questions. So that's great. Let's see what we got here. So no questions right now, and that's fine. And again, I want to thank everyone for attending the session today. As you can see on the screen here, you have my contact information, my phone number, my email. You can see some of the prior recordings that we had done, things like cybersecurity, business continuity, disaster recovery. Please be sure to join us on July 25th as we complete this solution series with managed IT. Again, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on July 25th. Have a great day, and thank you very much.